Hey, Wildcats. According to online sources, Bryson Howard was visiting Kentucky this weekend. Could this be a big commitment for Kentucky? Let's evaluate the news. Bryson Howard's arrival in Kentucky for his official visit this weekend is more than just a routine appointment on the Wildcats' recruiting calendar. It's a strategic and significant opportunity for the program, which seeks to cement its dominance as a national powerhouse in college basketball. Under Mark Pope's leadership, Kentucky has demonstrated an impressive evolution in its style of play, with a clear emphasis on offensive power and three-point shooting efficiency. And a player like Howard could be the perfect asset to further elevate the team's level. Bryson Howard, a five-star forward in the 2026 class, is a prospect who combines natural talent, versatility, and a deadly touch from distance. His meteoric rise in the national rankings, jumping 17 spots to 12th overall in 247 Sports' most recent update, is a reflection not only of his exceptional performance on the Nike EYBL circuit, but also of his ability to consistently impact games. Averaging impressive 20.7 points, 5.8 rebounds, 1.6 assists, and 2.1 steals per game, Howard has demonstrated that he is much more than just a sharpshooter. He is a complete player, capable of creating opportunities for himself and his teammates, as well as being a reliable defender. The fit between Howard and Mark Pope's system seems almost predestined. Kentucky under Pope broke records in 2024 to 2025 by converting 341 three-pointers in a single season, solidifying its position as one of the most lethal teams in the country. Howard's ability to shoot from distance, shooting 46.2% from three, 49 to 106, during the road regular season and Peach Jam, is exactly the kind of weapon the Wildcats need to maintain their offensive supremacy. Furthermore, his perimeter presence opens up valuable space for the inside players, creating tactical dynamics that can make life difficult for opponents. But what makes Bryson Howard even more compelling goes beyond his stats and rankings. He carries a family lineage that blends tradition and athletic excellence. The son of Josh Howard, a 10-year NBA veteran and 2007 All-Star, Bryson grew up surrounded by success stories and examples of discipline. Josh Howard, a first-round pick in the 2003 NBA draft after a brilliant career at Wake Forest, where he was named first-team All-American and ACC Player of the Year, left an undeniable legacy in college and professional basketball. Now, Bryson has a chance to follow in his father's footsteps, but with the possibility of writing his own story at an iconic program like Kentucky. Howard's visit comes at a crucial time for the Wildcats recruiting. Fan enthusiasm is at an all-time high, and the opportunity to showcase the energy and passion that surrounds a program could be a decisive factor in convincing a high-caliber player like Howard to commit to Kentucky. Under Mark Pope, Kentucky has sought not only to build competitive teams, but also to forge a clear identity on the court. The coach has prioritized players who combine individual talent with teamwork, and Howard seems to fit that bill perfectly. His ability to contribute across multiple facets of the game, from offense to defense, makes him a versatile player, capable of adapting to the diverse needs of a high-level college team. Howard's arrival at Kentucky could represent more than just an addition to the roster. It would symbolize a continuation of a tradition of excellence the program has cultivated over the years. The Wildcats have demonstrated a remarkable ability to attract and develop some of the best talent in the country. Bryson Howard, with his pedigree and potential, would be another chapter in this success story. Let's move on. Good news about Andrea Gelavic. The Croatian forward not only brings with him a wealth of international experience, but also demonstrates, from the outset, a contagious enthusiasm for donning the Wildcats uniform. His immediate NCAA eligibility, now officially confirmed, is news that resonates like a high note in a packed stadium, generating optimism and high expectations for the upcoming season. Gelavic is not just another name on the roster. He has been molded by the competitive demands of the Adriatic League, where he spent 2 seasons playing for Serbia's mega superbet. His averages last season speak for themselves. 11 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 1 steal per game are numbers that highlight his versatility on the court. Although his 3-point shooting rate was 30.5%, a statistic that could be improved, he demonstrates a diverse offensive repertoire and a physical presence that promises to make a difference in NCAA competition. The confirmation of his eligibility comes as a beautifully wrapped gift for Kentucky fans, especially since it eliminates any uncertainty about a participation in the full schedule, including events like Big Blue Madness and exhibitions against established teams like Purdue and Georgetown. Gelavic's recruiting process was atypical but extremely efficient. When Mark Pope first called him, the young Croatian didn't hesitate. Without lengthy deliberations or conversations with other programs, Gelavic committed to Kentucky almost instantly. This immediacy reflects not only the university's storied reputation in college basketball, but also Pope's ability to communicate his vision and create a genuine connection with players. During an interview with BBN Tonight, Gelavic revealed that he didn't even discuss the details with other coaches after Pope's call. "I committed immediately," he said, emphasizing the clarity of purpose he felt when considering Kentucky as his next destination. This kind of mutual trust between player and coach is rare and valuable and could bode well for the team's future. Although Gelavic missed part of the summer with the Wildcats while completing his mega superbet obligations and adjusting his academic schedule, his integration appears to be proceeding smoothly. After all, the competitive and collaborative environment Pope has cultivated in the program is fertile ground for talents like Gelavic to thrive. The coach has been clear about his intentions to build a roster that combines international experience with Kentucky's signature winning DNA. And in this sense, Gelavic is a perfect example of this combination. His presence on the roster offers several layers of potential impact. First, his scoring and rebounding ability adds depth to a team seeking to remain competitive in an ever-challenging conference. Furthermore, his international experience brings a different mentality to the group, something that could be crucial in decisive moments of the season. Players who come from leagues like the Adriatic tend to bring with them a level of tactical and emotional maturity that can positively influence their younger teammates. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect of Gelavic's arrival is the symbolism it carries. At a time when college basketball is increasingly globalized, his inclusion on Kentucky's roster reflects not only the search for talent in international markets, but also the program's ability to attract players ready to compete at the highest level. This is a testament to the work of Mark Pope and his recruiting staff, who have demonstrated a knack for identifying pieces that fit perfectly into the team's tactical and cultural puzzle. His trajectory thus far suggests he is ready to embrace the challenge and contribute significantly. With his eligibility confirmed and his evident dedication to Pope's project, the stage is set for him to become an important piece for the Cats. And football? Mark Stoops isn't one to waste words, much less time on rumors. On Saturday, the Kentucky coach got straight to the point when responding to a report that rocked Lexington, and which he says is nothing more than a fabrication. The accusation, made by Alan Cutler on his radio show, alleged that Stoops had approached athletic director Mitch Barnhart to negotiate a possible contract termination after the loss to Tennessee last season. For Stoops, the idea is absurd, and he made a point of saying so in no uncertain terms. Immediately after the loss to Georgia, one of the toughest games on the schedule, the coach appeared firm before the press. "There's no chance whatsoever of me leaving," he said, his voice thick with frustration, but also with conviction. "You can write whatever you want, but there's no quitting in me." That's unequivocally false. The words echoed not only as a response to Cutler, but as a reminder to BBN. Stoops still believes in what he's building in Lexington. It's true that Kentucky is experiencing a period of uncertainty on the field, with performances that don't reflect the potential of the squad and a brutal SEC schedule. But what's also true, and Stoops made a point of reaffirming this, is that he's not about to abandon ship after 13 years at the helm of the program. With a guaranteed contract through 2031 and an annual salary of $9 million. He is now one of the most stable and respected figures in college football. Speculation about a termination seems more like an attempt to create noise than a realistic reading of the situation. The math, in fact, reinforces the absurdity of the story. If Kentucky chose to fire Stoops, the university would have to pay him approximately $40.5 million in compensation, a number that speaks for itself. And on the field, even in a year of ups and downs, there are no signs of a team giving up on its coach. The group remains competitive, with young talent gaining momentum, and a coaching staff that still believes in the project that transformed Kentucky from a supporting player into a respected name in the SEC. It's important to remember what Stoops represents to the program. When he arrived, Kentucky was seen as nothing more than a decorative piece on a board dominated by powerhouses. Gradually, he built a culture of stability, improved recruiting, brought defensive consistency, and took the team to heights that previously seemed unattainable. He achieved 2 10-win seasons, something that sounded like a fantasy to previous generations of fans. Therefore, when rumors about his commitment surface, the natural reaction is skepticism. The episode also serves as a reminder of how noisy the college football environment has become, with microphones and social media amplifying any rumor in seconds. But Mark Stoops isn't the kind of coach who lets noise sway him. He survived worse times, faced harsher criticism, and still maintained his position and the respect of those who understand what he's built in Lexington. His public denial was more than a response to Alan Cutler. It was a symbolic gesture of continuity, a message to the locker room, to the administration, and, above all, to the fans who've been with him since the difficult times. Stoops is still here, and he still believes he can lead Kentucky to more. As the noise fades and the season continues, the coach shows he remains firmly in charge. And perhaps this is Mark Stoops' most defining trait, the ability to resist when the easy thing would be to retreat. What do you think? Comment